Okay, got it. Okay. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Terahertz Wednesday English Zoom session. So thank you for your precious time here to understand more about drinking good water, water and life, and of course, our award-winning Terahertz 0.96 healthy water device. Some of you may realize that, may notice that I'm actually wearing mask. Yes, I need to put on a mask because I'm doing this live Zoom session from a shop. In Singapore, so long as you're out of the home, you need to put on a mask. We are very strict here. We have a lot of the ambassador walking around. I'm very happy to be your MC tonight, and very sincere gratitude to the company, TSZ Malaysia and TSZ Global Singapore, for permitting me to be here on this platform tonight. And of course, my very sincere gratitude to our refined gentleman, Mr. George Neil. Without him bringing the device, the first device to Malaysia, followed by Singapore, Indonesia, Taiwan, and to many parts of the world, at least 20 countries. Very sincere gratitude to him. Then, if without him, we won't be here tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, if it's your first time here, I appreciate that you can type 1 plus S for Singapore, 1 plus M for Malaysia, 1 plus B for Brunei, 1 plus U for USA. Yes, Brian, 1 from Malaysia. Thank you. Brian's not the first time here. He's our very awesome host who is always helping us, working quietly from behind. Without Brian, we also will not have our Zoom class here today. My sincere gratitude to Brian too. Ladies and gentlemen, also please ensure that you off your video if you are not properly, especially, I would say, of course, it's on the upper body. You're not properly dressed for this webinar, and it's a common understanding. So please ensure that you're properly dressed, and please ensure that you off all your speaker while the speaker is delivering her class. Ladies and gentlemen, our speaker for the night, she used to spend quite a number of years in marketing, especially during those earlier years where Garfield was very popular. She specialized in marketing children product and the brand Garfield. And she has also spent 8 years as an early childhood teacher. She's a qualified early childhood teacher. And for the recent years, she is a certified housing agent in properties, selling, buying, renting properties. More than a year ago, one day at the trip out to Johor Bahru, yes, she's from Singapore, her first encounter with Terahertz water, well, that was like, she was saying that she actually chased for it the next 6 cup after her first cup. So can you imagine how awesome encounter with Terahertz water for her at the time? And she's also our stockist right now. Ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, let's have a round of applause for Linda Chua, our speaker for the night. Linda, thank you, Linda.
Thank you, Krisa. Thank you for your introduction. Thank you, and very good evening to everyone who joined us on the Zoom today. I saw a few newcomers. Before we start the lesson, disclaimer, the information I share on the slide today is a research compiled from the internet. So please refer to my reference for the next 2 slides. And the sharing of the THZ water and the testimony in this Zoom are all from the ground experience shared by all the users. For any further medical advice, please kindly consult your doctors. Yeah. So these are the references that I got from the internet. But today, our topic we like to talk on is hypertension. So how does our water gonna help in hypertension? And what is hypertension? So what is blood pressure? When the heart pumps blood through the arteries, the blood put pressure on the arteries walls. So this is known as blood pressure. So high blood pressure, also called hypertension, is dangerous because it makes the heart works harder to pump blood out of the body and contributes to hardening of the arteries, to stroke or kidneys disease, and to heart failure. So what causes blood pressure to fluctuate? So mainly these are the common ones. So stress, we have stress, white coat syndrome, which my parents face when they go to the clinic. They will have this, their pressure is usually abnormal, especially very high. But at home, usually there's around 120, 125, 30. But when they reach the clinic, their reading is always at about 160, 180. No, medication also will cause the fluctuation of the pressure, the activities that we are doing, the food and the drink that we take, the processed food or the alcohol, all these will cause the fluctuation of our blood pressure. Yep. So hypertension can damage our organs and increase the risk of several conditions, including a heart attack, heart failure, stroke, and kidney failure. Now, is the salt the culprit behind high blood pressure? Let me ask this question. So, do you think that salt is the main one that causes the culprit that is behind our high blood pressure? No. After the research that I had, so many people always think that salt is the one, but sorry, let me go back to the slide. Salt is the culprit that causes high blood pressure, but the root cause of the high blood pressure is actually the lack of water in our body. As the blood contains more than 90% water content, by Dr. Bamimli mentioned in the book, Drinking Water is Good for Health, that blood vessel can regulate the ever-changing blood volume, and the blood volume will decrease when the body is lack of water. In order to make up for the loss of the water in the blood, the originally normal blood vessel will shrink, and the surrounding capillaries will also be closed. So the tightening of the blood vessel causes the pressure of arteries to go up. Now, people are made of water. In the entire blood circulation system, more than 90% of our blood is water. So the blood can carry oxygen, nutrients, and it also takes away the metabolism waste in the body and avoid the accumulation of toxin. So by Dr. Lee Samwang, an authority in the Korean National Medical Department, also said that more than 90% of the blood is water. So as long as our human body is lack 1 to 2% of water, all the internal organs and tissue cell will be lack of water and nutrients. Therefore, as long as a person is dehydrated, blood volume is immediately affected. So in order for us, So once the body is lack of water, it will causes the obstacles to the circulatory system, resulting in the inability to smoothly transmit oxygen and nutrients to all parts of our body. So when the human body is deprived of oxygen, it will cause pain and reaction in various parts, such as skin, aging, leading to chest tightness, eyes fatigue, and yawning. So in addition, when nutrients cannot be delivered to the tissues of our body, the body will be lack of energy to maintain the basic functions of our psychology functions. When the body water loss causes dehydration, the body cell will lose 66% of the water. So the body is worried that the water loss from the blood will cause problem in the mechanism in life functions. So at this time, it will enter a state of self-protection. In the case of lack of water, the wall of the blood vessel will shrink to ensure the normal flow of the blood. In long term, it will causes atherosclerosis and contraction of the blood vessel wall to cause hypertension. So this is one of the reasons why we have hypertension. So at this time, we must first understand the operating mechanism of the water dispatch in the body. So it is mentioned in the book, Drink Water Correctly, No Pain in Lifetime. That the water balance in the body mainly depends on the scheduling of our minerals ions, the most important of which are potassium and sodium ions. So potassium ion and sodium ions attracts water inside and outside the cell. Respectively, once the human body lacks of water, the cell will retain the potassium ion in the cell to allow water to enter the cell. So insufficient extracellular fluid or lack of the water in the blood will retain the sodium ions in order to regulate water, which is actually salt. So the kidney is the main exertion channel for sodium ions. At this time, in order to attract water, the kidney will not allow sodium ions to be extracted from the urine. Therefore, when a person is lack of water, the blood pressure rises due to the vasoconstriction, and the sodium ions concentration in the blood in the body is so high. Therefore, it is considered that high blood pressure is due to excessive sodium. Now, this is a picture which I extract. So these are the plaque, the blood clot. So plaque build up in the arteries wall, making it hard for the blood to get through. This also increases the pressure against the arteries wall, which can lead to elevate our blood pressure. So what are the complications of hypertension? So we will the complication will have brain stroke, or we call hemorrhage, blood vessel damage, vision loss, heart attack, bone loss, or kidney failure. Now, so I'm asking you now, how many liters of water do you drink a day? Are you drinking enough water? According to US National Academy of Science, Engineering and Medicine, for men, an adequate daily fluid intake is about 15.5 cups, which is about 3.7 liters of fluid a day. For women, it's about 11.5 cups, which is about 2.7 liters of water a day. So is everyone drinking enough? How about what is THZ water device? How does this device help us in over here? Let's see, it is a non-contact molecular low frequency resonance activation water device that is active or edible liquid and use a unique physical method of no additional or no contact to activate the water in the castor state by low frequency activation of water. The direct drinking water that is converted into a linear structure required by human bodies, the human cell, and can be directly absorbed by the cell. So in the 1980s, Americans already stated that they found a light called a terahertz wave that is consist with the frequency of vibration of human cell which is a kind of light energy. It can resonate with human body cell, thereby activating the cell. So scientists name this as the wave of light. So what is terahertz? What is the wave of light? The wave of light, where is terahertz? Is located between a microwave and infrared. The frequency is around 0.1 to 10 terahertz. It's an invisible special electromagnetic wave. The characteristic of this wave is that they easily detect large molecules grouped in organic matter, and it has strong penetration. It's harmless to our human body. That's most important. Yeah. So how does this device helps in improving our immune system? The Nobel Prize 2003 in chemistry rewards Peter Gray for the discovery of water channel and Roderick McKinnon for the structural and mechanism studies of the ion channel. So how does this help us? Because terahertz functional water is in a single water molecule that makes it easy to pass through cell membrane water channel. So with the kinetic energy, fast movement speed, high penetration force, strong dissolving power, after entering to the human body, it constantly activates the human cell and can carry more nutrients, minerals, oxygen that are beneficiary to our human body, entering every corner of the cell, so that the human cell are filled with clean, vibrant, and nutritious liquid, which can greatly promote the growth and development of ourselves and make human self more active. So this is the beautiful part of moisturizing our cell in a. So what are the 5 characteristics of this terahertz water? There are 3 A's, that is antibacterial, antioxidants, anti-radiations, and the 2L, which is low viscosity of 680 times and low frequency of 7.6 hertz in MNR small molecules. So single linear line up. The water itself, the ordinary polymetric water molecules is around a cluster. So after we resonate, it becomes a single linear water molecule. So this is the leading technology that creates structural water. So cell only drink the right type of water. The structural change provide the cell with a better water supply and increases the cell absorption rate. So looking at this, the single linear, go back to the last slide here. So looking at this, so in a cluster, our normal water is in a molecule cluster of 15 to 17 people in a circle. So for a market kind of water, is around 5 to 7. But for our terahertz linear arrangement, is in a single linear line up. So looking at this, which formation is the easiest to walk through the door? Now, what is we mentioned about the 7.6 hertz, which is the FWHM of the MNR versus the pure water. So we see that water, functional water is at 80 hertz, where our purified water is at 127 hertz. So the wider the full width of the half maximum means the bigger the molecule of the cluster, the poorer the quality of the water. So looking at comparison of this graph here, looking at the longevity village water is at 80 hertz, but our terahertz water is at 7.6. Okay. Now look at the characteristic of the terahertz functional water over here. So, hold on, sorry, I think I pressed on something. Sorry, technical problem. Give me a minute. Okay, look at the characteristic. Oh, yeah. Just like, give me a minute. Sorry, give me. Okay, I think I have to go this way. Sorry, there's a technical problem over here. We were at the characteristic of the terahertz water. So we looking at the rainwater. The rainwater is at 208 hertz. So just now we saw over here that the wider the full width of the half maximum means the bigger the molecule cluster, the poorer the water, the quality of the water. So the characteristic over here, look, the rainwater is at 208 hertz. The distilled water is at 119, whereas the tap water is at 110 to 132, and the well water is at 103. And looking at our terrace water is only at 7.6. That's why it's much easier to penetrate into our cell. So the low viscosity of 680 times lower than ordinary water. So 680 times lower. So you can feel that those who have drank our terrace water before, you can feel that the texture is very soft and smooth. Now, the 3A's, antibacterial. So after testing of 3 minutes of terahertz healthy water treatment, the E. coli has been reduced by more than 90%. And for this antibacterial, so if you are also, it's also anti-inflammation. So you have the other A of antioxidation. So after 3 minutes of treatment with terahertz water device, the total antioxidation percentage of the water quality is 75%. And anti-radiation. So it is generally believed that receiving too much radiation may cause symptoms such as fidget, bleeding of gums, hair loss, decrease, so skin problem, white blood cell. So these are this water actually also have anti-radiation. Now, the function and benefits of our drinking water, other than just drinking, we also use it for external spraying. So it moisturizes the skin and it's very quickly hydrate and it improves our fine lines. Later we'll give you some testimony on this. And for this device, we have 13 certificates and 5 patents. So these are all the 13 certificates that we have. So those who are new members, you can ask this from the person who introduced you. So disclaimer, terahertz water device cannot be used as medicine. So if you are currently taking any medicine, please continue to take your medication until your doctor asks you to stop. Yeah. So these are some of the testimony we have for our terahertz water. So this is Albert. For the hair, you see the difference of his hair. And this one is George. Before and after. And antibacterial. So the result of a 46 days of skin improvement. This is also allergies. So before and after, 5 months after. And this is stage 4 breast cancer. She only drinks the terahertz water for 8 months and make a lot of difference in her body. This is the result of spraying after an hour with terahertz water. You see the fine lines. Same for here. Drink and spray of terahertz water for a month. Look at the frizz and the dark spots. This is the result of the 9 days using terahertz water with burnt skin. This is a result of diabetic patients, but look at the what they have written here is that every day he's drinking 4 liters of water a day. So after 23 days, the blood sugar actually dropped from 25.8 to 5.3. But I have to say this depends on each individual immune system. So this is only 2 days of bathing and spraying with terahertz water. It improved an allergy rash on the neck and body of the baby skin. So look, do not put, okay, when you're doing the racination of the water, so do not put metal objects into the terahertz healthy water device during the processing. So after processing, you can reheat the water, okay? And for drinking on time, to ensure that the water is actively and cleanly, and the cleanliness, the racinated water should be drunk as soon as possible. And who are the people to avoid? So people who have a pacemaker should not drink. Patients with major illness and advanced stages, also we do not encourage. So patients who are experiencing major bleeding, also we do not encourage. Yeah? And what are the possible reaction and sign? So like what Krisa has first introduced, when I first get to know terahertz water, after 1 cup, I chased for 6 cups. So this is what I felt, you know, because dry and thirsty is a sign, a signal from the cell that indicating that the body is in a state of severe water shortage. That's why I chase after the 6 cups. Also, there's nausea, snoring. So this is also due to the poor performance of the spleen and the stomach. So that has begins to improve. That's why you have this problem. You have fluctuance, which the stomach is actually having the detoxification. So you also have smelly urine, and at the beginning, when you first start to drink the water, this means that the toxin are actually exerted through urine. Okay, so market potential for terahertz healthy functional water is still untapped with opportunities. So it's a health product that every family needs and can be used by everyone. It's $1 trillion health industry. So thank you. That's the sharing for tonight. Krisa, back to you.
Yes. Thank you, Linda. Thank you, Linda, for the awesome sharing. $1 trillion business. Later at 9:15, we shall start with the marketing plan. So right now, you've gone through, so those who are online, the testimonial from hair, from skin. So right now, we would like to invite our member, Mr. C.L. Chong. Mr. C.L. Chong, are you there?
Hello, can you hear me?
Oh, yes. C.L. Chong will share his testimonial on his group testimonial. C.L. Chong, please welcome on board. Thank you.
Can you see me?
Yes, we can see you. Yes.
Okay, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I'm C.L. Chua from Singapore. I have started to drink dietary water since last year, end of March. So it's more than a year already. Okay. Initially, when I started to drink, after a few days, I feel very thirsty. Even though I have Kangen water at home, I drink Kangen water, I don't have the kind of feeling that my mouth, my throat are feeling dry and asking for more water. But when it comes to this dietary water, I have this feeling after a few days, my body is asking for more water. Okay? Because the reason is that the Kangen water, the water molecule cluster is bigger, 4 to 6 cluster. Unlike the dietary water is single. So in this sense, it means that the dietary water single molecule is easier absorbed by our body cell. That's why when I start drinking, I feel the kind of thirst. So it's a good sign. So before I started dietary water, you see, whenever I took red dragon fruits or beetroot, when you pass motion, you can actually see there are some red stain on the stool, right? I think it's very common for most of us. Then when I started drinking dietary water, after 3 months, suddenly I realized that my stool no more red. Even I took red dragon fruits or the beetroot. The reason because my gut can absorb the nutrient better. That's why I don't see the red color appear on the stool. So it helped my gut to improve the absorption of nutrient. This is my experience. Okay. And I have one friend who bought the dietary water last year, July. He got hypertension. So even though he's on medication, his blood pressure is about 140 plus, over 90, even on medication. So I still recommended him this dietary water. And he bought the unit and he started to drinking, but he's in a hurry. Actually, he started with 3 liter, 4 liter. And within 2 weeks, he got surprised. His blood pressure dropped to 110 over 70. Wonderful, right? And 2 weeks ago, he showed me his blood pressure again. And still can maintain all this month, 110 to over 70. So he's very happy about this, able to maintain his blood pressure. Unlike in the past. This is the second case. And I got another downline. 3 months ago, he actually bought a unit. This lady got actually serious cataract. And he bought the unit. He actually bought the ice cup where you can fill the water to rinse the eye. Okay. On the night, after purchase the unit, on the night, he actually tried using dietary water on his eye. To his surprise, he saw white residue came out from her eye. both eye, right? Quite big piece, visible to our naked eye. So he was very surprised. And he continued doing it for the next few days. And the white residue getting lesser and lesser came up from her eye. And now her eye is very good. She don't feel any uncomfortable in the, unlike in the past. Now her eye is feeling normal. So we are very happy for her. So, and what another downline, her husband tried drinking the water. She got a bald patch on top of her head. And after a few months, actually hair started growing on the bald patch. And now you can't see the bald patch. And also the hair become darker also. So it's a good experience to know all these things happening. And that's all I want to share.
Wow, amazing. Xiao Chong, this is amazing because it's a lady, correct? Just now you're saying it's a lady, she
Lady's husband.
Or her husband. Oh, that's amazing.
The one with the lady.
Oh, okay. Wow, that's amazing. But basically, the other amazing testimony I think you have left out, which we also share, is regarding your mom. Remember that usually we share during the Singapore office here, the Saturday. OPP, in the on Saturdays in the afternoon. Yeah, your mom was also very amazing.
Yeah,
she actually soaked her 2 feet in terrace water, correct?
Yeah. Because I'm unable to show the picture, it's very hard to describe.
Yeah. But in fact, we have when we do our OPP in Singapore office, not online, offline. Yes, we have that one. That is also very amazing. Yeah, because basically I also share with friends and new prospect. So for your mom case, is amazing. She just basically soaked her 2 feet in terrace, normal room temperature. That was for about you were saying about 4 months, am I correct? And we see so much changes in her so-called her 2 feet corn issue, which has been bothering her for about 20 years, correct? And it was
more than 10 years.
Actually, more than 10 years.
Before the soaking of the terrace water, actually her foot, actually the skin is peeling and blackened over.
I see.
Yeah, after the 4 months, you can see the skin get back to normal and no more blackened skin.
Yeah, fantastic. Awesome. And she's
like,
already...
That would be better. Right. I couldn't have the picture to show.
Yeah. She's already in her 80s, and the fact is that she doesn't really drink much water because usually senior citizens, it's quite tough to ask them to drink the correct amount of water, correct? Even for terrace water.
She normally drink about 1 liter only.
Yeah, that's amazing. Thank you, Xiao Chong, for your kind sharing. Thank you. And
welcome.
Thank you so much. Good night. So, ladies and gentlemen, so any more sharing from the ground? The experience after the awesome experience sharing by Xiao Chong. Anybody would like to share? So, okay. So basically, I would also, since we are waiting for someone to share, I would also like to share about the latest somebody who had just start using terrace healthy water device. This is actually her 5-year-old granddaughter. She was so happy. The next morning, the first night they used terrace water to drink a bit and to spray on this 5-year-old girl before going to bed. And the next morning she wake up was so aesthetic, telling the helpers say that she could sleep easily, and because the itchiness is no more there, because in the past, before coming in contact with terrace water, she really have a lot of itch and having problem sleeping. So can you imagine the immediate awesome experience with terrace water by this 5-year-old girl? Thank you. Is there anyone else would like to share?
Yes, yes, Krisa. Talking about hypertension, just now we are going through about hypertension. So I'd like to share something about my partner. She started drinking after I introduced her for about 2 to 3 months. But usually she has high blood is due to her stress of work because she's a house. Okay, and one day while she was having having shopping, she suddenly had very bad nose bleeding, and the bleeding not only just blood but all clots of like she say is a clot, is all clot out like pieces of is like pieces coming out from the nose itself. So during the research when I was doing for hypertension, I actually come across that nose bleeding also is due to high blood. That's why it's lucky that she has been drinking our water, that the thing pushes it out from having nose bleeding, and then she had all the clot coming out through the nose. Actually, she was a bit scared. She actually called me. She said, I'm having nose bleeding, and she's holding on to the tissue and all the whole tissue. And I asked, she even take a picture of the clot that is coming out from the nose. But looking at this, if these things don't come out from the nose when we bleed, it may goes up to the head, and that's where we had hemorrhage. That's why, talking about high blood pressure, that's why some people have stroke. That's one of the reasons. So she say actually it's good that the water actually help her to actually flushes it out through bleeding the nose, through the nose. Okay, thanks, Krisa. That's my sharing.
Yes, in fact, nose bleeding, many not aware of is part of toxin being discharged. But the moment when people see nose bleeding, they are so frightened, so fearful. In fact, it is a very, very good sign based on old ancient teaching, which I've been, learning, practicing for the last 7 years. Yes, a lot of people do not know. Talking about this discharge, I also have one of my Penang user. She actually have very unhealthy gum, and over the years, she has this because his teeth are quite jagged in out here, not in a smooth, nice arrangement. So it's quite tough that sometimes, when you eat meat or whatever, so we get stuck in between. So over the years, he has actually went for a lot of of course, a normal scaling polishing, a lot of filling, this and that, blah, blah, blah. So in fact, after 2 months of drinking terrace water, mind you, suddenly have serious gum swelling. It's like the local term here. It's like you thought that what's going to happen. So gum swelling, and he actually need to check into the hospital. When he called me, I say, don't worry. If you need to check in, you need to check in, because you really need to get all the toxin out. And true enough, at the hospital, the doctor actually able to help him to discharge so much, past in Penang, they will call it nana. So they have, a lot of nana, yes. So it's all the toxins are being pushed out. Imagine after drinking terrace water for 2 months, normal people will say, hey, what's happening? It's so frightening, But he was quite cool and calm. He just tell me, I said, just go ahead and check out. So to today in hospital really get rid of a lot of toxin in which is already built up in between the jaw, the jawbone, the gum, or this and that. So this is one way. But for myself is I also had this problem is that in fact after 2 months of drinking carrot water, that was more than 2 months, there was one period that continuously for 4 days, always in the middle of the night, suddenly I feel that a lot of phlegm being just like suddenly flow out automatically, and like I was like getting choked, so that to a point that I have to take a metal plate and put beside my bed, sometimes it's in the middle of the night, and it continued for about 4 nights. So the first night I was like, hey, what is happening? Then second night, I thought, oh yeah, because toxin is being pushed out from the body, beside, is to your feces, your urination, your perspiration, and phlegm is also one way of pushing out beside the pus, all this and that. Phlegm is also one way of having the toxin discharge. And basically it's my lung. I knew because I have an injury on the back and it's on the lung section. So we have been more than 40 years. So I know at one time I have also difficulty in breathing, even in talking or walking the staircase. People will always, when they happen to talk to me, when they happen to call me, someone happened to call me and I talk well, I walk, they were saying that it seems like you're losing your breath anytime. But then surprisingly, recently, somebody, when I went to the office to do a presentation, she actually told her son, hey, this is Auntie Krisa, she's drinking this water for 1 year, and now she is no more like catching for breath whenever she talks. Then I said, huh? I didn't realize, but she realized it because it's a friend for the last 8 years. So to me, it's that you just drink the Charas water with a lot of faith, joy, gratitude, let the body take care of itself because our body is self-healing, by itself. So, and that also depends on how much your physical condition is. Because every time we gather from the ground, it's that, hey, how come I drink water, this one, that one, blah, blah, blah. But we have to admit that what kind of physical condition that we are right now. But for me, my case is very serious. I have serious cervical spondylitis. I also the whole spinal spondylitis, an injury that is causing so much like damage or so-called blockage to the meridian, all this and that will affect also 1 or 2 of my major organ. So we have to understand that we are facing this. So sometimes so-called recovery will take longer than others who are basically not much of a physical long-time injury. So this is something important that I would like to share. After years, then usually on Zoom class, and we're doing a presentation offline, online, we hear a lot of questions, a lot of doubts. So this, I think this is quite important sharing to many of you out there. Thank you.
Yes, also mainly because it also depends on individual body. Like I said, as I shared before, for a lot of people, even those our user that shared with us who are having diabetics, and after drinking 23 days, the one in Malacca, and his sugar level dropped from 25.8 to 5.8 because he has been drinking it about 4 liters a day. But it really depends on individual body, like what I shared earlier on the hypertension. Why? Because if we are shortage of water for a long time, our vessel wall actually has already shrunk, like as what the research from the internet. So now when you're beginning to start to drink terahertz water, so it may take some time for our cell to slowly absorb, slowly get used, and the water going into our cell. Although we have a single linear molecule, a lot of people who drink our water, we have lots of testimony, and a lot of them who drink our water say some of them can be, I have users that they just come back to me in 3 days. Linda, the water is so good. I have stiff shoulder, and within 3 days, you know, after drinking water, I have no more stiff shoulder. But also have to depends on the quantity of the water that you drink. How many liters per day? That's why just now I had a slide that asks your questions. How many liters of water do you all drink a day? And a lot of Singaporeans, a lot, not, also that including me. You know, beginning when I also can't drink so much water. I only like, last time, I think that's why I say I'm shortage of water when I first introduced to terahertz water, and I chased for another 6 cups because I'm shortage of water. And let me recall, I can actually say that the whole day, maybe in the morning, I drink a cup of water. After that, I don't drink until in the evening or when I'm back, because I'm also a property agent, and sometimes when we run outside, I don't really carry a water bottle with me, and I drink every day. So for people who say, why is it I already drink 3 months or 4 months and I don't see result? Okay, question is, how much water have you drink? The other question is, every individual immune system are different. Like I shared before, my mom, for my mom, it took about 6 months when I see her, although every 3 months, all her blood test report is very good, because every 3 months you go for a polyclinic blood test check. Her result is getting better, but it also haven't reached the state where the doctor can slowly reduce her medicine. Until the 6 months, then the doctor said, wow, your mom has been on 30 years of medication, but only now I see that her results are getting better and better, and I intend to cut down the medication for her diabetic. So please have patience for those new people or some of our old users who are in the Zoom. Have some patience when you drink the water. And I recently saw a message that you all put, I have been drinking the terrace water for 3 months. And why is it my high blood pressure is still so high? Like I said, that's why today, why I go in the research on the internet, why on hypertension, because look at the slide that I've presented. Actually, it's not that you eat the thing too salty. It's that because our body system, they want to, the body system works itself. So that's why, in a way, they stop the sodium from going out, so ions from going out, sodium ions from going out of our body, and our blood vessel wall string. That's why if for those people who seldom drink water and now suddenly get used to drink our terahertz water, you give them sometimes for your body cell, for your body itself to slowly absorb the water. It's not all of a sudden you want to see a very fast result, because everybody say, oh, my testimonial, 1 week, 3 weeks. Yes, I have blood pressure that is going down, that they drink, my user drink less than 2 weeks. It's just nice that it was also her day to go and see her, to do a polyclinic checkup. And she said the first time in her life, from 160, 165, her blood pressure was at 125 when she had her checkup. But it depends on individual body. Also, it also depends on the quality and the quantity of the water that you are drinking. I hope I answer some of the questions that people have doubts on why I've been drinking 3 months, but my blood pressure is still so high. Is because, first of all, you ask yourself, you have been drinking 2.5. Is that the water that you require? As I put it over just now in the slide, for men is about 15.5 cups of water, and lady is about 11.5 cups of water. Or you can take your weight, divide by 30. That's about the normal water that your body will need. Okay, Teresa.
Okay, we're talking about this. Go say, my friend drink the water more than 3 months, but her blood pressure shot up from 130 to 170. She drank 3 liters per day. I think this is quite common that we're seeing the kind of feedback, correct, Linda?
Yes, this is very common because likewise, likewise I go through some research also because of my mom, because everybody say their sugar level after drinking 1 month, blah, 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 drop. But I was looking at my mom, and my mom sugar level really dropped only after 6 months. First of all, she's already have age. She's already 30 years on medication. So first of all, the water that we Terrace water will help us to actually do the so-called detox and help us to push out and warm up our cell, our water cell, our body cell first before going into this. And from 130 to 170 is actually a healing crisis. In between, when they are actually helping you all to detox, definitely there will be a healing crisis. This is, we will name it as a healing crisis. That's why I actually went into research, because I also quite surprised. Everybody say 1 month, 2 months, or 2 weeks, 3 weeks, you know, they got so good result. But I was looking at my mom. My mom, I also make her drink, you know, 2 to 3 liters of water, because old age people, some of them, they refuse to drink so much water. So I'd like to check with you. How old is your friend? And how does she drink the water? Is it she drink the water straight, just one gulp, or as and when we sip and we drink the water? There's also differences. So if you're going to drink the cup just because you're thirsty already start drinking, or you over the 3 liters is over the whole day, bit by bit, she's drinking the water. Yes.
She's 75. Go reply.
Yes,
The friend is
correct.
75.
So because
Yeah,
older people, my mom is also around 75. So older people may take a longer time, but in between, why is it from 130, it jumps up to 170? It's something like because it's already so long, and I'm not sure whether is your friend is your friend on any medication for high blood pressure. So like for my mom, she is taking on medication for all the 3 highs: cholesterol, diabetic, and also high blood. So in her body for 30 years, there are also so much medication in the body already. So when we start to detox, it takes time. But one thing good is that every 3 months when we go for the blood test report, I do see that her blood test report is all getting better and better. That's why one of the reasons why my mom drink the water also, because last year when I first get to know the water and when I started and bought the machine, the polyclinic actually diagnosed that her kidney is failing. That's why she also got scared. As you know, if you take all the 3 types of medication, they always also have medicine to help you on the kidney. So that's why, somebody say cannot hear me. Krista, are you able to hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, but it's slightly gobble. It's like, but I still can hear you. Yes,
okay.
yes, I can hear you.
So she actually, so in June, she started drinking the water, and in August, we went for the SGH Renal Center to do a check and scan her kidney. actually the result was very good and I was very surprised. So I asked the doctor, what polyclinic, can you check over to the report of the polyclinic, which they told my mom's kidney is already failing. But after drinking the water for 2 months, actually she got a very good result. That's why she said, no, her kidney is still functioning above 55%. So from there onwards, my mom really drink a lot, slowly over the whole day. And my mom drink lukewarm water. She don't just take the water itself after the filtration or after racemation. She don't go for room temperature. She goes for lukewarm. Lukewarm is around 50, 60. So it's a bit warm. For elderly people, I will encourage you to drink warm water. Yes.
Well, even for me, I mean, my
Sorry, Krista, I lost you. I lost you. I cannot hear you. Sorry, Krista.
I can hear you loud and clear.
Oh,
I can
okay.
hear you loud and clear.
So,
it's everybody. Warm water, it does make a difference. Does make a difference.
Okay, I think there's a question from KK. Yeah. Any case that you know that is help migraine and low blood pressure? Okay, low blood pressure I didn't hear, but maybe you can join the Telegram, see whether, and then you type in a low blood pressure or migraine. Is there any help? But I believe migraine there will be there will be help. It will be helpful, because to be very frank, the water after my mom has been drinking, because why I take my mom, because my mom family history for hasn't been very good. My mom actually has 9 siblings, and out of 9 siblings, my auntie at the age of 42 passed on because of hemorrhage. Uncle also got stroke and survived until 55. I have another uncle who has diabetic and dialysis, also passed on in 60 in just last year. And then now my mother has 9 siblings, only left with only the younger sister. Yeah. So that's why I'm very careful with the things that I give to my mom. So I know water will not harm you, but medication will not help you. That's why I believe drinking more water will help in
yeah, I can't hear you. Intermittent.
Sorry. Give me a minute. Give me a minute.
Sorry, we can't hear you.
Sorry. So I believe like migraine, all this is because you have to see also migraine is due to our body. So our body actually is self-healing. If we are drinking good water to help our cell, the cell of our body, so it will definitely help us to improve our health. So it's not about healing. So there's a question, does boiling the water affect the structure? No.
Yes, I answered already. Yes.
Oh, you answered already, yeah? Okay.
Yeah. The other thing is that before that, I would also like to answer Fiona. If had knee replacement, can drink the water? Sure, of course. My mom, she has been drinking terrace water for the last 1 year, and she had knee replacement. No issue at all. So she had, in fact, she had a knee replacement on one of her knee. So yes, after vaccine, can drink terrace water immediately. Yeah, there are people who drink before and then they come back, they still
and after
use and they still use warm water to pad the you know, the towel, and then they put with warm terrace water, and they just pat around the jab area. We don't see any issue.
Yes, constipation. Yes, we have a lot of a testimony on constipation, but there are still people who after drinking still find that it's very difficult, but it depends on how you drink. First of all, we encourage those people who has constipation to drink lukewarm water and do it in the morning when you wake up. It will help you a lot.
Yes, definitely. Yes, early in the morning.
So those who are new and you like to join, please go into our Telegram group. So there are more testimony over there and more sharing by other people. So you can also post your questions over there. Yeah.
Yes, Brian has shared the link to everybody. Please take a look. Please take a look at the link. You can join. What about those who do not have filter machine or can just use tap water? Would like to answer Ling Sing. Ling Sing, if you purchase Terrace Healthy Water device, the device will come with a free yes, free filter. Yes, yes, true.
So any type of people can't drink. Okay,
yeah.
I think I have explained in the slide that those people who have a pacemaker, we don't encourage to but there are people who actually also drink, but they mix the normal water with terrace water, because like what we say, after resignation, we have some. So we just don't want it to disturb the pacemaker. That's why for those people who have pacemaker, so we don't encourage them to drink. And those who just had their operation, so we don't know what happened. Those who have operation, you also don't know what's going on in the body when they had their operation. So it's better that for them to at least rest for a few weeks before they start to drink. Terrace water and normal water will not hurt anybody. Yeah. Hope I answer your question, Fiona. Linda, one of my friends have been drinking terrace water for about 5 months now. She noticed that there is something like a little mole appeared on her breast. Is that part of the detox process? This we have not come across about the little more thing. Why don't you ask her to go for doctor's advice? Because we have not come across that people have a mole after drinking terrace water. But is it painful, or is there any pain on the mole, on the part where he has the mole?
Yeah, it's advisable to go and see the doctor if she's concerned about this, especially when, like you say, if there's any pain, you know. Yes. But honestly, we have heard people say after drinking, in fact, you know, the breast area is like turn more pinkish. In fact, I have a few more than, I won't say, in fact, I have 3 feedbacks already. Yeah, so the body cell is very, you know, healthy, regenerating. The whole body itself is regenerating. So,
okay, then there's another question by Lishin that UTI is one sign of detox after drinking terrace water. Yes, I would say some of them for UTI, some of them actually use terrace water to wash. It will be even better effect. Oh.
I was told to resonate twice for 5-liter water. Is it true? Well, it's up to you, but usually once is good enough already over the years.
Okay, for Eileen, for what we because okay, for our standard standard is that we have the jar of 3.5. So it's a better effect we using once for 3.5. But those we are having 5 liter or 5.5, we also did resonate once, but we can resonate up to 6 liter. But some of us just feel safer to go for twice because our standard is the jar of a 3.5.
Yeah, so some have the kind of feeling.
So I don't know.
But basically, basically from the most of the time from the ground feedback, once is good enough, but it's maybe some people would just take. They want to have the another time of resonating the field. Okay, our Joe Tang, yes, our leader from East Malaysia. Terrace water is not medicine.
It doesn't raise or reduce BP. It helps strengthen the self-active cell, so it enhances the cell and organs function. So low or high BP will be normal when the time is right. Yes.
Yes, the Chinese say 终于等到你. Yes.
Yeah, when the time is right. So when is the time is right? It depends on your own body immune system. Like we say, water will not harm us. When we drink water, will not harm us. It will only help us. And if you look at the slides that I've put and the books that over the research, that water is, if you drink good water, you have no pain in life. Yes, so it will help our immune system. When the water is put into a plastic container, how long will the freshness can be maintained? Catherine, the water, as what we say, once it's resinated, we can keep, we have ever tested for 8 months. Once it's resinated, the structure will not change for 8 months. Okay, I hope we have answered all the questions, and it's already 9:20. I would like to go into